Good afternoon, students, and welcome to today's lecture, Introducing Olympia, Birthplace of the Olympic Games. Now, Olympia is one of the most significant sanctuaries in all of ancient Greece, best known, of course, as the birthplace of the Olympic Games. It's located in the western Peloponnese, and it was a major religious center dedicated to the god Zeus, king of the gods. Now, every 4 years, athletes and spectators from across the Mediterranean gathered at Olympia to participate in or witness the Olympic Games, a festival that combined athletic competition with religious observance. The Games were one of the most unifying traditions in all of ancient Greece, and it helped reinforce a shared Hellenic identity, even among city-states that were frequently at war with each other. Now, beyond the Games, Olympia was home to some of the most impressive religious and artistic achievements in all the ancient world. The Grand Temple of Zeus housed one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the colossal chryselephantine, that means gold and ivory, statue of Zeus, crafted by the sculptor Phidias. Olympia was not just an athletic hub, but it was also a center of devotion, art, and diplomacy, where city-states demonstrated their power and prestige through dedications and monumental structures. Okay, so where exactly is Olympia? Well, Olympia is situated in a fertile valley in the region of Elis, near the confluence of the Alpheus and Cladios rivers. Now, unlike Delphi or Sunion, which are perched on mountains or dramatic cliffs, Olympia's lowland setting contributed to its role as a peaceful sanctuary where athletes could train and compete without the harsh conditions of a rugged landscape. The rivers provided a steady water supply, making the area well suited for settlement and for large gatherings. Now, the relatively isolated location of Olympia, right, kind of in the backwaters of the Peloponnese, meant that it was not a major urban center, but rather a sacred precinct, used primarily for religious and athletic purposes. However, its accessibility via land and river routes allowed it to draw visitors from all over Greece and beyond. The natural setting, with its lush greenery and its large open spaces, created an ideal environment for both religious observance and physical competition, reinforcing the connection between nature, the gods, and human athletic excellence. Now let's take a look at Olympia's history. So Olympia's origins date back at least to the 10th century BC, with evidence of religious activity centered around the worship of Zeus. Now, the first Olympic Games were traditionally held in 776 BC, marking the beginning of the festival's official record. Over time, however, the Games grew in scale and prestige, attracting athletes from as far away as Magna Graecia, today southern Italy and Sicily, and Asia Minor. Now, during the Archaic and Classical periods, Olympia saw extensive architectural development. The Temple of Zeus, it was completed in the mid-5th century BC, and it became one of the most important structures in the sanctuary. The Games themselves also evolved, with new events such as chariot racing and boxing being added to the traditional foot races. And victors here, they were awarded with simple olive wreaths. But at the same time, they kind of gained this immense fame and honor in their home city-states when they returned. So Olympia continued to flourish under the Hellenistic and Roman rulers, with emperors such as Nero even competing in the Olympic Games himself. However, as Christianity spread throughout the Roman Empire, the games declined, and they were officially abolished by the Emperor Theodosius in 393 AD. Natural disasters and invasions eventually led to the site's abandonment, but its legacy as the birthplace of the Olympic tradition remains today. So Olympia is home to some of the most remarkable monuments in all the ancient world. The Temple of Zeus, the largest temple in the sanctuary, housed the famous statue of Zeus, and this was considered one of the greatest artistic masterpieces in all of antiquity. Nearby, the Temple of Hera, one of the oldest surviving Greek temples, played a key role in religious rituals, including the lighting of the Olympic flame, a tradition that still continues today. The Stadium of Olympia, of course, where the athletic competitions took place, could accommodate tens of thousands of spectators. And the Palestra and Gymnasium, those were the training facilities for athletes, emphasizing the Greek ideal of physical excellence. The Philippeion, a circular monument built by Philip II of Macedon, highlighted Olympia's political connections, as it commemorated the ruler's conquests and his family's divine ancestry. And then we have the Altis, the sacred grove of Zeus, which served as the heart of the sanctuary. It contained numerous altars, votive offerings, and treasuries dedicated by city-states eager to display their piety and their prestige. Now, each structure at Olympia tells its own story of devotion, competition, and artistic achievement, making it a really rich site for archaeological and historical study. Now, it doesn't take a PhD in archaeology to know that Olympia was important back in the ancient world as well as today. Olympia provides a unique window into ancient Greek culture, blending religion, athletics, and politics into one cohesive tradition. The Olympic Games were more than just sporting events. They were a pan-Hellenic festival that fostered a sense of unity among the often fractured Greek city-states. Studying Olympia allows us to see how physical excellence and religious devotion were intertwined in Greek society. Moreover, the site showcases the Greeks' architectural and artistic brilliance, particularly through the remains of the Temple of Zeus and its associated sculpture. Olympia also played a diplomatic role, as truces were declared to allow safe passage for athletes and spectators, emphasizing the kind of cultural power of the Games in fostering peace and cooperation. By examining Olympia, we gain deeper insight into Greek ideals of athleticism, of religious practice, and of civic pride. The legacy of the ancient Games continues in the modern Olympics as well, making Olympia not only a crucial archaeological site, but also a symbol of human endurance and cultural heritage. Now, in the upcoming lectures, we'll take a look at the evolution of the Olympic Games, the role of athleticism in Greek identity, and the art and architecture that made the site of Olympia a marvel in the ancient world.